Even you've got the likes of Nick Wright and stuff saying they were like, well, nobody under the age of 35 in basketball is more popular than Caitlin Clark. And he's right. He's absolutely right. Like, I don't think anyone's really going to question that one. Like, under the age of 35, there is nobody, and I mean that when I say nobody, that is more popular than Caitlin. And that includes Wemby, that includes Luka Doncic.
The bottle was limited to just 2,200 units, which in the ecosystem of a global product launch is microscopic. That is not mass distribution. That is engineered scarcity. And yet the demand didn't just meet that limited supply, it obliterated it. Reports described a virtual queue system that looked more like what you'd expect from a hype sneaker collaboration than a hydration accessory drop. Countdown clock, digital waiting room, traffic management protocols, the kind of infrastructure brands deploy when they anticipate chaos. And even that system reportedly struggled to contain the surge. The entire run was gone in roughly 20 seconds. Do the math and you're looking at an average of about 110 units per second disappearing from inventory, and that number likely understates the actual traffic because thousands of users never made it through the queue before the stock was wiped out. That is not normal consumer behavior. That is concentrated commercial force. And here's the part that makes it fascinating. There was no game attached to this.
No buserveater.
No record-setting stat line. No viral highlight fueling the moment. It was simply the name of Caitlin Clark on a product, paired with the date and time. That alone generated enough demand to overwhelm systems built by Gatorade, a brand with more than 60 years of market presence and the backing of PepsiCo. When infrastructure at that level bends under pressure, you are no longer talking about hype. You are talking about gravity. So why does a water bottle trigger this kind of response? The first layer is simple. Her fan base has repeatedly demonstrated a willingness to purchase anything authentically connected to her. That pattern dates back to her college run at University of Iowa, when merchandise sales surged beyond what many legacy programs generated. It carried into the WNBA, where her jersey for the Indiana Fever immediately became one of the league's top sellers. Limited releases tied to her name have consistently vanished before casual observers even realize they exist. The water bottle wasn't an outlier. It was a continuation. The second layer is scarcity psychology. Limiting supply to 2,200 units transforms a product into membership. Owning one becomes a signal proof that you were there, that you clicked fast enough, that you belong to the core. That mechanism mirrors what happens in sneaker culture and in music fandoms. The comparison that keeps surfacing is Taylor Swift, not because the industries are similar, but because the fanbase dynamics are. When identity fuses with consumption, demand stops behaving rationally. Fans don't just buy a product, they buy participation in a moment. The timing adds another layer. The WNBA is navigating labor negotiations, uncertainty around scheduling, and broader structural debates about revenue distribution. The on-court product is effectively paused in the public conversation. Yet the commercial engine tied to Clark did not pause. It accelerated. The fact that demand of this scale materializes independent of game action suggests her market pull operates outside the standard seasonal cycle. That has implications. It reframes leverage discussions. It challenges the assumption that attention cools when the ball isn't bouncing. Then there's the looming sneaker release with Nike. If a $20 accessory can create digital congestion, the first signature shoe drop is likely to resemble a cultural event more than a standard retail launch. Look at the precedent set by Aya Wilson, whose initial signature releases were extremely difficult to secure despite her MVP resume. Clark's demand operates at a different scale entirely. The infrastructure will be heavier. The traffic will be louder. The resale market will be immediate. The anticipation is already baked in. What also stands out is reported selectivity. Clark does not attach her name indiscriminately. That restraint preserves value. When endorsement frequency is controlled, each appearance carries weight. That's part of why even a simple bottle feels like an event. Scarcity plus curation equals amplification. And consider the broader economic backdrop. Discretionary spending is under pressure for many households. Yet 2,200 units evaporated in seconds. That tells you the motivation here is emotional, not utilitarian. Fans aren't calculating cost-benefit spreadsheets over a bottle. They're expressing loyalty. Identity-driven purchasing is resilient because it is rooted in connection rather than necessity. The most interesting shift is that this isn't peak mania anymore. The initial viral wave has settled into something steadier. Less frenzy, more foundation. And paradoxically, that foundation may be stronger. Mania spikes and fades. Gravity sustains. The website crash didn't require a viral highlight the week before. It required only a timestamp and a name. A $20 bottle. 20 seconds. Corporate infrastructure strained. The shoe hasn't launched. The season hasn't tipped off. Yet the demand is already demonstrating scale. That's not noise. That's signal.